Hi everyone, welcome back to the Well Saarthi and I am Tulsi. So today's video I am going to review a book and book's name is Relative Strength with Technical Analysis by Yogesh Bhavsar. So this is the book which I am going to review today. So I recently got hold of this book and I came across through this book via Twitter, and I'm going to share key learnings which I like in this book, and I'm going to share with all of you so that maximum knowledge can be spread across as many people as possible. So why this book and what I like about this book? So I myself I have been a trend trader, relative strength trader ever since I have been doing direct equity trading, and therefore I thought that let me purchase this book and give it a go. But I really like this book, so this book did not disappointed me at all. It is so simple written, very easy to understand language, and there are some very easy tools which author has also shared in the book, which we will go through couple of live example during the course of the video. So the author of this book is a well versed and experienced trader with more than 15 plus years of experience, as I read this in the book. So what are my key takeaways from this book? So relative strength. Why relative strength? So there is a concept called value investing. In that we buy low and we sell high, but then it becomes very difficult for a normal trader, normal investor to identify and understand that how low you have to buy, which is the lowest level you can buy, and which is the highest level we can buy. So that's where the relative strength concept comes in picture, because if there is any one holy grail in the market to make easy and comfortable money, it's a relative strength. By the way, there is no holy grail at all, but relative strength is a comparatively easy way, because once you identify the relative strength, which stock is showing the strength vis-a-vis the market, so that you can ride the trend and it increases your probability to make the easy money. So this concept of relative strength, it is very nicely explained in this book by the author. So what author says, that the stock which are showing the strength as against to the overall market, or as against to that particular sector, or as against to that the broader market trend, which is called relative strength. And author recommends through this book and through some examples that you buy higher and sell more higher, so that you ride the trend and you don't get onto the trap of this value investing where we don't really know that which is the lowest level. So that is one point I like from this book. Now the second point is how to apply relative strength. So to make this very easy, author has coded its own indicator, and which we will discuss in a couple of examples as well. But what is most interesting is that the way it has been explained in this book, that the relative strength, it is not that that you pick up any stock and then you identify strength and then start trading. And often people get confused between RSI indicator and relative strength, but there are two different points which is very nicely explained in this book. RSI is a momentum indicator which just shows the momentum, that whether it is going uptrend, it downtrend, but it is not necessarily that whether the stock has a strength higher relative to the market or the sector or not. But that is what very nicely explained in this book, that how to apply the relative strength so that you do not get confused between RSI and relative strength. And author has also explained relative strength in two different time frame: higher time frame, lower time frame. So what is higher time frame? Higher time frame covers a three months relative strength of the stock, and lower time frame covers the 1 month of the relative strength of the stock. Then author has very nicely explained the market cycle. I'm sure many of you watching this video would be aware of that what is market cycle. So any market has a four phase: accumulation, uptrend, distribution, and then downtrend. So how do we identify which stage of the market we are in currently? Because when it is accumulating or when it is distributing, it goes relatively sideways, and that we will show through live demonstration in a chart in some time. So it is very difficult to identify that whether really, when you see the sideways market, whether it is being accumulated or whether it is being distributed. So what it means is that whether the operators are buying or accumulating the stocks, or they are slowly gradually offloading and selling the stock. So that is very difficult to understand, but however it is very easily explained in this book, that how does the market cycle works and how we can identify that which stage of market we are in through use of very simple tool, which is 30-day moving average. And it is very nicely explained in this book with lots of examples. Now another interesting topic which this book talks about is the role of volume. Now volume is one of my favorite as well, because that's where we really try to understand that whether the stock is showing strength or not, as opposed to the market or the sector, and whether it is being accumulated or whether it is being distributed, and how many people are showing interest in that particular stock. But then the question lies here is that how big is the volume is big enough, or how small is the volume is small enough. So again, this is very easily explained in this book with lots of example, that which level of volume we should build our conviction that now this particular stock is showing the strength. And there is also scanner in charting developed by the author, which is also given in the book, so that if you run through that scanner and then you can scan through various high volume, high relative strength stock. That also I will show you. And then one very interesting topic which I really like in this book, it is candlestick chart patterns and their use with relative strength. Now this is something very interesting I found, because I always thought that yes, the candlestick patterns are there, but then I always used to think that are they not too obvious that everybody is not reading them, the operators are not reading them, the big monies are not reading them, but how are they relevant? And I always had that question, and to be honest, I never really paid a lot of attention to the chart candlestick patterns until I read this chapter in this book, that no, they do actually make sense if you know when to use them and where to use them, and at which junction in the chart the particular candlestick pattern it is more relevant. And that is something very nicely explained in this book. And then another point is support and resistance. Now again, I assume that many of you who are experienced traders or who have a few years of experience in understanding the market, you know that what is the support and what is the resistance and how supports and resistance work. But again, the point here is that which support is a valid support and which resistance is a valid resistance, and which area in your chart at which level the support is more relevant, that it will hold your price, or the resistance is more relevant, where you should build your conviction that okay, now this is the place that I need to exit my position. That is again very nicely explained in this book. Then RS indicator. So there is a whole chapter about the RS indicator which has two parameters, 65 days and 123 days. So basically the logic behind 65 and 123, what author has explained, that 65 is the shorter time frame, keeping 5 trading days in a week, and then 123 is a broader timeline which can cover up to 6 months as well, 6 months to 3 months, and then the 65 is daily to quarterly or weekly. And it is very easy to understand if you go through the book and if you read that in detail, and the logic behind that, when the stock is showing trend at the larger time frame, what does that mean, or when it is showing strength at the shorter time frame, what does it mean, and which time frame it is ideal to trade. It is very nicely again explained in the book. And then one very interesting point which is explained is that the trade template. So it's there is a whole chapter on the sector. So author has very easily simplified this, that identify the broader market trend, then identify the trending sector within the broader market, and then identify a relatively strong stock as against the broader market as well as the sector. So that means you have the high probable trade. Then comes to the fundamental analysis. There is one chapter on fundamental analysis as well, and fundamental analysis can become little difficult and tricky to understand, but the way it is written in this book, it is very easily explained, and then one can relate very easily. So then when you combine all these things, the relative strength, the fundamental, and the high volume traded stock, you can really have a high probable trade going in your favor. Now let us go through a couple of real life example what I have done by myself, the back testing after reading this book, that I read the book, I like the book, but how does it apply in the real live market? That I have done the testing myself, and I'm going to show that to you. So if you see here, I have the stock of Atul Auto, but before that let me just show you the indicator. So this is the indicator, RS indicator, which is been developed by the author, and he has made it free available in TradingView. So here I have added that as my favorite, that short and long relative strength, RS Magic. You don't need to do any changes. The moment you plot the indicator, it comes with the settings as it is, as explained in the book. Now if I go to Atul Auto stock, so now as I said before, that in this book author has very nicely explained the concept of market cycle. So this is the perfect example of combining all the studies which I have personally liked and found from this book. So how it goes, here we go. So here if you see, so as I said that any stock has a 4 phase. So this is accumulation, then it advanced, then here it was distributing, and then from here the profit booking started. Now same story is being repeated here, what happened here. So now we can say that this is again building the base, and if you go more deep into the detail of this book, there is a chapter on stage analysis and etc. So I will not speak about that much in detail, but then if you see here what was happening here, that again the same story is being repeated here, and if you see here as well, the role of volume here, the role of volume here, same way the volumes are also increasing. Let me just remove these drawings, and so now again we can say that here what was happening, the same thing is happening, but then if I apply the theory what I learned from this book, the relative strength theory, as you can see here on weekly time frame, the shorter relative strength, it is going above the zero line and it is showing the strength, and the longer one, it is also nearing to the zero and it is about to show strength as well. And then if we apply the theory of supports and resistance, so as I said that in this book it is very easily explained that where you have to look for the support and where you have to look for the resistance. So here the moment it was showing the relative strength higher than the number 0, and then here there was an immediate resistance. In fact there was one more small immediate resistance here as well, and then there is one more immediate resistance here as well. So as you see, this one weekly candle with the relative strength has gone over all the resistance. Now if we switch back to the daily, same in a daily time frame as well, both the relative strength, it is showing strong, and the price is also in a heavy uptrend. And then if we see the 30-day moving average, it is also started showing up move, and the volumes are increasing. So you see, in one company I was able to apply all the learnings what I learned from this book, and then I was able to find a high probable trade. This is just I thought that this is a genuinely good book, I should share my views, and therefore I have made this video. So if you really like this video, then do give me comment, and do give me feedback that how did you like this review. And if you want me to go too deep in this book and do a chapter wise, stage wise, a proper review of the each and every chapter, please let me know in the comment. I will be very happy to do that. And yeah, that's it. So thank you very much for watching this video, and let me know how did you